Brian already lagged out, and the episode hasn't even started, and he's gone. All right, cool. And we're back. Episode 59. I am joined by my co-host, Australian. No, wait, hold on. No, my co-host
down here.
Yeah, no, that's it. Yeah,
down here.
Brian, you're my co-host.
Yes.
I am your host, Matt Musselwhite, as always. My co-host, that guy, Bryan Kern. Say hi. Say hi to the people.
What's up, guys? I know I'm in a different studio today, but my house is under reconstruction. We are actually in the middle of renovating it into a Buddhist temple. So Matt, next time you come down, you're only going to be able to wear robes. You have to shave your head, and unfortunately, you're not going to be able to say any cuss words because we're the house of the Lord now. So,
okay. So I'm never coming over, ever.
I mean, I guess not. Okay. Oh well, bummer.
We're also joined by a guest from down under, the furthest guest we've ever had, 15 hours ahead of us, Mr. Josh Walker from the band Stuck Out. What's going on, my man?
Fellas, it's good to be here. It's a nice sunny afternoon in Melbourne when you're in your 10 p.m. night drinking. It's all good. All good. We're having a good time.
Can we have a cheers for our first down under guest? Let's get it, baby.
Hey. It's not out of the ordinary to be drinking at 1 p.m. in Australia. Isn't there tons of drinking in Australia? Somewhere.
There you go. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Are you guys
right?
I had a good friend of ours, actually. Shout out John Gaylor, who was a good friend of ours. I won't go any deeper than that. But
he actually a good friend, but he doesn't watch the show. So he's not a
shut up. Shut up. He is in the down under for a while, and he said it's really hard to get weed out there. Are you a fan of the marijuana?
Yeah, is it hard to get weed, bro?
I have to ask. He said it was. He said it was real difficult, and there were some places that didn't sell alcohol all the time. But he's a weed head, and he said that it was really hard to get weed.
I mean, it's not legal anywhere down here. There's not even states where I think Victoria, the state that I live in, has only just allowed it for medicinal use.
There you go, baby. There you go. Okay.
So, but it's still super you got to jump through hoops to kind of get it, and it's only for epilepsy and serious shit. So it's certainly probably not as common as our American brothers.
Hey, we're going down the shitter, bro. So you know what? Maybe you shouldn't legalize weed because the U.S. is fucked up right now. So
maybe there's some sort of coincidence correlation, something like that.
Perhaps, maybe.
Brian, is it just me, or do you kind of want to check his ID before you start sipping that liquor?
Bro. Again, you look like our friend Clay. You look like he looked like.
Yeah. I shaved this morning.
You look like he looked. Okay,
that's what it
makes
is.
Sense. I was gonna say because you don't look like the Spotify photo that you guys have up. I think there's some other. You're obviously on the Sharp Tone.
It's never looked like their Spotify photo.
You don't look like that either. I couldn't pick you out of a lineup.
I don't have the Photoshop touch up. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's what it is. Okay. Well, hey, at least we know that the beauty in Australia is fake beauty, like it is here in the U.S. So I salute you, sir.
Always.
I actually heard it was the other way around. There's less tit jobs per capita over there than anywhere else in the world.
Probably. We're all natural down here.
No, you're not. Bro, I want to
got some preconceived notions about Australia.
I want to hang out with you in my junior year science class. You literally look like our friend Clay. I almost want to tag him in a post and be like, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing? Are you
bring Clay in?
Bring him in, dude. We should, man."
Yeah, the most uninvolved. Yeah, he just compared you to a dude we haven't seen since high school. That's the funny part. So he's only referencing the way he looked in high school.
I'm gonna pull up a picture right now, and we're gonna.
Oh yeah, I love when Brian brings up people for the only me and him. No, it just totally bogs the show down. It's a great viewer experience.
It's for the matchup, bro. If we gotta, hey, listen. If this could be one of the instances where Clay, our friend, maybe murders somebody, and they go down south and arrest Walker for misidentity or something, man. I mean, come on.
Down south is like going to Laredo. Down under is where our friend Walker is. Big difference.
He's down. That's all that matters.
Bit further.
Yeah, losing viewers as we speak. Bringing up. This is not going to make the best of reel. I'll tell you that. Bringing up our friend that only me and you know. fucking pointless.
Wait till I show his picture, and they're gonna think he's in fucking Stuck Out, and he's gonna be fucking excited. People are gonna be jacked on it.
It's ridiculous. So, Walker, you said you were married, or were you just lying to us about that? There's a lot of people lie about that.
I am. I got married in March, actually, so it's a freshie.
A freshie.
So it was you I was communicating with on Instagram that said, "Oh, I can't do it. I'm getting married that month." And I'm like, "Hey, that's great and all, but hey, I got a live stream podcast I'm trying to run over here, fella."
Yeah, sorry. I kind of got my priorities mixed up. My bad, man. I'm sorry.
Hey, congratulations. Congratulations. No, your priority one for sure. Congratulations on the marriage. And real quick, this is the screenshot of Clay. And I just want to say the hair, it's a resemblance. There you go, dude. Right there, dude. That's what I'm saying.
Didn't Clay try to play an instrument but couldn't play it for dick?
Yeah. I mean,
he tried to play something. I think he tried to play bass or something. Yeah,
pretty hard.
He wasn't very good. He definitely
flute.
He definitely wouldn't have been in a band.
No.
Brian's getting married pretty soon. I've been telling him it's a huge mistake. Would you you so far I take it you're enjoying marriage? She's not watching, I take it, so it's probably cool, to be honest.
She's not watching, but I know this is recorded, so it's the best decision you can make, yeah?
Yeah.
I like how you flashed the ring in that too. You were like, best decision.
Perfect.
Totally worth it. Totally
we just lost all our female viewers.
Yeah.
They know we appear to be allies, but we're truly scumbags underneath it all.
Oh no!
Did you guys go anywhere special for the honeymoon? You got access to a lot cooler places than we do, being way over there.
Yeah, well, because Melbourne was in like lockdown like all of last year, we were kind of screwed for traveling, and so finally, Australia's all opened back up again. So we managed to get up north to a place in Queensland called Noosa, and just basically hung around the beach for a week up there. The water was, like bath temperature. I got this fly coming into my shot.
That sounds beautiful. My aunt stayed in Queens for her honeymoon, and it was just awful. So I imagine it's completely different.
It's completely different.
Have you ever been to the States?
No one got that. It's
wait, which one? The Queensland or New York?
Have you ever been to our states, the United States of America?
No. Unfortunately, not. I've never been to the US. But it's on the to-do list. Hopefully, I mean, we can't really do shit right now, but we're kind of just biding our time, twiddling our thumbs kind of thing, wait until we can finally get back overseas again.
Besides there being like a global pandemic that's made it suck dick to travel everywhere, when I look at a band like Stuck Out, you guys are like one of the biggest victims of there not being a Warped Tour right now. If there was a Warped Tour, they would be head over heels for some Australian pop punk, and they'd be begging you to come over here with a decent ride, and it would be a great summer. But there's no Warped Tour anymore. There's no tours anymore at all.
No, well, exactly. You know what I saw? I saw like Sad Summer, which was like Warped on steroids, but also like less bands kind of thing. It was like a mini festival. And I was like, that is like the coolest thing. It had like Story, it had All Time Low, it had like, who else? It had Yours Truly from Australia on it. And I was like, that's the kind of thing where if you get a couple of those going around with a sick lineup, it'll like really, encourage those kind of festival tours. But yeah, I don't know. Warped, I mean, I'm 24, so I guess Warped was kind of just as I turned 18. It was just
on the cusp, man, on the way out.
You missed the good old days, kiddo.
Yeah, you did.
Exactly.
You missed 2004 to 2010. You missed the hard ones, But hey, that doesn't mean that you wouldn't
there in 2008, kid. You don't understand.
Hey, your band would have been fucking killing it, bro. Trust, your band would have been.
It was a bucket list kind of thing that I'm sure for every single, scene band out there, and it's just kind of been crossed off the list now for one way or another.
It's supposedly coming back, right? I think they're trying to do it as the festival.
Yeah, more tours. It's going to return in some form, and
a weekend on the East Coast and the West Coast or something.
That'd be sick.
I spent my whole summer 16 on Warped, and that bitch is brutal, dude. Like, if they were to restructure it and make it like, you know, West Coast to East Coast, you only hit major markets. Sorry, Kansas. It would just be laid out a little better. The drives are brutal. Doing that many dates is brutal. You go to some places like Phoenix. Phoenix is just a weird market, and their Warped Tour dates sucked. No one comes out. Like, everyone like just hates that show.
Well, that's the thing. As soon as the tour is like a punish for the actual bands, like for a band from Australia, we'd jump on it, no questions asked. We'd be so keen to play. Like, we don't get 30-date tours in Australia. You know, it's like you can do like a max of like 6 or 7 if you're really pushing it. But like over there, like the bands that have done it once or twice, if they're looking back and they're like, this is an absolute punish, can we even like be bothered to do it again, kind of thing, it becomes a bit of a less of a drawing card. Whereas if you do the whole thing where it's like you're going to be hanging out with all your mates in the other bands and it's only going to be for like 2 weekends, or it's going to be, you know, this many dates instead of, you know, driving 3 to 4 hours plus every day kind of thing, then it would definitely drag a lot more of the bigger bands in, I guess.
That's something
you don't
that
want
I
to come to
definitely
America and tour in a van. That's what you want to avoid.
No, get a bus.
You want
get a bus.
Yeah.
We love vans, man. Because I mean, in Australia, we're on tour with yours truly at the moment, and we had to fly to Brisbane. Then we played Brisbane. We drove Brisbane to Sydney, which was a 12-hour drive, and then we drove Sydney to Melbourne, which is a 10-hour drive kind of thing.
God damn.
So like we'd be playing, we like leave the show at like 1 a.m, whatever, get back to our mate's place, sleep for 4 hours, be up by 5 a.m. to get into loading at 5 p.m. in Sydney, stay out till, you know, 3 a.m, sleep until like 9 a.m. to drive to Melbourne the next day, and then go to work on a Monday kind of thing. We're like weekend warriors, you know?
You know,
Brutal.
I think that there's
That's a
also
lot of driving.
I take for granted how many bands don't make it down there. I know that a lot of bands only make it down there like once every 5 years, right? Or even longer than that. And I think that, like, man, the scene down there is probably entirely different, because you mentioned Stick to Your Guns, All Time Low, a bunch of other like bands that are going to be in that genre. But how often do you guys actually get big tours like that, you know, that don't include Parkway Drive or In Heart's Wake or something like that? Like, how often do you get our bands coming to you guys? It's pretty infrequent, right?
It's very, very infrequent. And I'd say the even bigger thing is that because of the whole like online community, everything's so accessible. So even like the small bands that only have like, you know, I don't know, 2,000 to 5,000 followers, but like you can like really get into them. You're like listening to them and you're thinking, well, I'm never going to get to see these guys live, because
that sucks.
Like unless you are at a certain like rung in the scene, you're not going to make any money touring Australia. And it's certainly a fucking punish to tour here. So it kind of gets
there
to the point
sucks. Getting
exactly.
there is 14, 15 hours, man. Like,
exactly.
on a plane,
Exactly.
You know?
But like at the same time, we've got heaps of like festivals kind of coming up now where they'll do like Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne kind of festivals over a weekend. So you have a Friday, a Saturday, and a Sunday. And that's becoming a lot more popular. And it's also getting bands. It's good and it's bad, because it's getting bands that would normally tour here like once every 2 or 3 years to come over, and they can be like, sick, I'll just play the festival and do it. But it also means you're not getting to see the bands in like the small rooms where everyone's jumping off the stage and stuff like that. So it's kind of like the
intimate
good for bands, less of an experience, but at the same time they can chuck on their own side shows and stuff like that. So it doesn't really matter.
We got a few comments in here. Brian, you said something about female viewers. Bitter Rose says, "Oh, you mean just me?"
Oh, okay. Get her out.
Sarek, the colorblind guy. I lived in the U.S. for a lot of the time of the Warped Tour, but I was too young to go. Now back in Australia. You didn't miss much. You've been sunburned before. You've seen like 12 bands at one time. It's kind of like that. Are you friends with the Chats? Is that like another Aussie band?
We're not friends with the Chats. Do you guys know the Chats?
No, never heard of them.
They're like
that is.
quintessential Aussie punk. They have a song called Smoko.
Okay.
About Smoko on break. Smoko. I'm on Smoko. They have a song called Pub Feed. They have a song called ACDC CD. So it's like they're like quintessential Australian punk that you should just listen to. It's good shit. It's good shit. So whoever sent that comment in, they know what they're talking about.
All right.
Loyal listener Jordan Tupper sent that one in. That's just funny. Brian, did you have anything else on the festival front? I know you were super stoked that everything started getting announced. It seems like every state's got a big ass festival with 9 Inch Nails playing.
Oh man, okay, so we've got obviously Lollapalooza was just announced, which I mean
Lollapalooza?
Lollapalooza,
Lollapalooza.
Doesn't feature Jane's Addiction, surprisingly enough. It doesn't. Let me pull the lineup right now. You would think it would, right?
I just assume that any band that does heroin would be on that lineup. Is that wrong of me to assume? Is that
there's a
wrong?
lot of bands that are doing heroin.
Jamie's
no, yeah, you can. So what happens here, if we say something disgusting, wrong, or inappropriate, we get booted. Matt likes to boot himself infrequently just because he's the power, the creative control behind this. But yeah, let me get you your lineup for Lollapalooza. You ready for this? Foo Fighters, Post Malone, Tyler the Creator, Miley Cyrus, DaBaby, Marshmello, Millennium, Journey. Journey is probably the oldest, most veteran band playing Lollapalooza. For whatever reason, they're still playing. They're only gonna play the fucking one song that everybody loves 100 times. That's all they're doing. They're playing it for 45 minutes straight. That's all you get.
That's great. I was definitely planning on bringing my mom and leaving her there.
Just leaving her at Lollapalooza. We got Earth Gang.
Here, mom, just stay here. Just watch Journey. If you're nice and you take enough acid, Chicago's playing later. They're not. It's just the acid.
Lollapalooza is coming in.
Brian,
hard.
your lighting today is.
It was my hair last week, my shirt. Now it's the lighting. I come to impress, Bitter Rose. Remember that. I come to impress.
Yeah.
I know you like Journey. That's
Journey.
why.
Fucking hippie.
Oh man,
yeah, you would like Journey.
I don't know if anybody's excited for Lollapalooza, but it is in Grand Rapids.
They're not. Move on to the next festival.
Welcome to Rockville. Welcome to Rockville. Unfortunately, is 4 days, and 2 of those days is taken up by Metallica. But you know what?
God.
Hey, listen. I think it's worth it. I've caught on though.
Why don't you just stab me in the ears? 4-day music festival. Like it doesn't matter if I like. By the end of that, there's nothing left.
There's not.
My soul would have left my body. I'll be sunburned and dehydrated. I'll look like when they sun dry tomatoes. I'll be done.
All right.
Who wants a 4-day music? Like those festivals you camp at? Like I would never do that. I would never camp at Coachella. I would never camp at Download.
I'm gonna give it to you. I'm just gonna give you a couple headliners, and then I'll throw in some of the bands that we know. But Thursday, November 11th, is headlined by 9 Inch Nails, Deftones, Cypress Hill, Stone Temple Pilots, and the Architects. Okay, so those are the main ones. Friday,
I got excited and thought Thursday was playing.
I wish. Friday, Metallica, Rob Zombie, Social Distortion, Chevelle, and Pennywise. Beartooth, for whatever reason, is right on.
Oh, those are a lot of bands.
Yeah.
The only band out of all those you just said that I gave a shit about would be Chevelle.
Oh yeah, okay. So listen, the 13th, Saturday, Disturbed, The Offspring, Stained. Stained is back. I'm kind of excited about that, actually. I'm a huge Aaron Lewis fan. Stained is back. Lamb of God, Asking Alexandria.
Aaron Lewis isn't even an Aaron Lewis fan.
Can I ask, is Disturbed listed above The Offspring?
That's
yes,
a great
Disturbed's
question.
the headliner. Disturbed's the headliner. Yeah.
Are they bigger than The Offspring?
Oh,
because they're definitely not in Australia.
2 different realms out here in America for sure. 2 different realms.
Okay.
The Offspring just dropped an album, but prior to that, they weren't doing anything. Where Disturbed was still touring in between album cycles, like a lot more frequently than The Offspring. So I would say, like among like people younger than me, like people your age or younger, they're definitely more into Disturbed than The Offspring.
But the punk side may carry over to The Offspring.
The Offspring has bigger songs, though. They came in the early 2000s and then they just kind of stopped.
All through the 90s too, sir. All through the 90s.
Yeah,
but anyways,
that too.
Disturbed and Metallica are also very neck to neck, and they tour a lot together. So whenever you see Metallica, you're likely to see Disturbed. So back to Metallica on Sunday. You ready for this? Metallica, Mudvayne, because they're returning. Shout outs to Mudvayne. Mastodon,
Gross.
Anthrax, and are you ready for the co-headliner? I left this out for a particular reason because I want to know if you guys are impressed by this at all, and especially you being in the Down Under, Walker. I have to know if you're a Leonard Skinner fan, because Leonard Skinner is taking the co-headline spot on Sunday of Welcome to Rockville. I doubt you're into hillbilly
that day
rock.
specifically just sounds like it should be sponsored by Bad Cocaine.
Oh, okay. So listen, you said Bad Cocaine. Falling in Reverse is also playing that day. Falling in Reverse and Dance Gavin Dance are also playing on Sunday. So if you love cocaine, Sunday's your day to go.
That's it.
That's so. Yeah, Leonard Skinner is not a thing down here.
Okay,
I
didn't think so.
At least not with the people that I hang out with.
You don't have a cowboy hat, cowboy boots. You don't listen to any George Strait and Kenny Chesney.
Negative. Never.
Yeah. How many country festivals do you guys get in Australia? I have to know.
One. Oh no. We have like a range, but no one from America. It's all just Australian.
There's Australian country?
There's Australian country. It's a big deal, especially in Queensland.
Wow. I never would have thought.
It's a lot less like you guys have like Red Solo Cup kind of shit.
Yeah, we do.
But we have a lot less of that.
Do you have like
stuff.
Boomerang chucking and kangaroo kicking, or
that's racist, right?
Is that racist?
I think that's racist.
As long as we have a lot of stuff about dust and
like
about
angel dust
sitting on your front porch.
I mean, I'd assume that things like sitting on your front porch, drinking beer, Fostas, I assume that would all carry over.
No Fosters.
I know that's a myth.
No?
Never. No Australian has ever drunk a Foster in their life. That is an American myth.
How dare America do that?
No American has ever drank a Foster's either. So it's just a myth that people drink that beer in general.
I don't think it's even a beer. I think it's just a myth that's going around.
It's not even real.
It's a batter can of piss water.
Yeah, exactly.
Piss and Pilsner.
Oh,
all right, Brian,
no.
those festivals sounded terrible, and I wouldn't dish out triple digits for any of them. So hit me with another festival.
Oh,
it's got to be something better than that.
ACL.
Because if you don't have a better, ACL.
ACL just got announced with a shit ton of mid-level people. Miley Cyrus, Nicki Minaj. However, for us here in Austin,
Baby,
shout
again.
out because we have several Austin. Yeah, we have several Austin artists playing the festival, which is actually really cool because. For festivals, especially something like ACL, and this is just a little bit of a background, for something like ACL that's thrown by a bigger company, right? It's really hard to get local talent on the show. Me and Matt are from where Coachella's at, and it's really, really hard to get local bands to play Coachella, but they have happened. They have happened. So for ACL to feature, I think it's 6 Austin local artists that are playing and 2 of them, shout out to Mike Milano. He's from Chicago, so he's not technically from Austin, but he resides in Austin now. He has for the last 5 or 6 years. He's playing. We do have 6 or 7 artists that are being showcased on ACL, so that's kind of cool. Although the lineup, very lackluster. You are getting DaBaby, which is kind of nice. You are getting Miley Cyrus, which is going to be a big deal.
Whack, bro. It's all about Lil Baby.
But I mean, really, you're not
it's
getting...
funny.
Yeah,
it's funny how you guys were like, oh yeah, so they've got some mid-level talent. Miley Cyrus would be the biggest festival headliner we would have ever had in Australia. Probably.
She is. I mean, and she's huge, and that's basically what's bringing out the attention. But I mean, for someone like,
I feel so entitled.
Say it, Walker. Give it to us one more time.
Can you say Red
Solo Cup? I
so
you up.
Bitter Rose is logging off and creating an OnlyFans off of what you just did to her. I guarantee it, because the Australian accent I know gets chicks fucking. Do you? Okay, first of all, when you come to America, sir,
here we
take the wig
go.
off. take the ring off when you come to America because you are going to be drowned in American vagina. I'm just letting you know right now. No. Yeah, you are.
I'm very. I love fans coming up and chatting to us after shows and stuff like that.
Oh, you don't love fans that way.
If they push it too far, I'm like, okay, see you guys, bye, and I just piss bolt. I'm out of there.
Piss bolt. That's gonna be the name of my next punk band. Piss bolt.
That should be the name of this episode. Piss bolt. I like it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. The festival that I saw that had a dope lineup was Blue Ridge Rock Fest in Danville, Virginia. I wouldn't go to Danville for shit, but I mean, Wage War, Atreyu, Drugs, All That Remains, Knock Loose, Crown the Empire, From Ashes to New, Fit for a King, Fozzy, Drowning Pool, Escape the Fate, Miss May I, Light the Torch, Non-Point, Spirit Box, Chelsea Grin, Slaves, dude. Blue Ridge Rock Fest. It's got everyone. Branded Sacrifice, Stitched Up Heart. Yeah, just every fucking buddy is on this bill, dude. Everybody.
Where is that?
Okay.
In Virginia.
That's nice that we're getting a festival that's very core heavy and like an independent heavy because you get Welcome to Rockville and Lollapalooza. Those are all mainstream bands. It's you're not getting a whole lot of our style in there. So it is nice that we're getting a core festival.
Oh yeah, it's core as fuck, bro. They should have just called it Danville to the Core, bro.
That's not how it sounds at all.
Oh my god, she's
seizing out.
She loves your accent.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I got a question. When like places like Virginia have these festivals, and it's whack to me because obviously Australia has like next to nothing in population compared to you guys. But like, are there festivals in like Montana and like North Dakota, or is that just like nothing? No.
If they are, they're only for obscure acts like indie shit. Like you could go to a random state park and they might I went to a state park. They had a festival. It was all indie folk acts. It was weird as shit. I think one of the bands was called the Farts. And they have them in the middle of nowhere. But if you're talking about a festival of notoriety that you're going to get like an act somebody has heard of, no. Places like Montana, Wyoming, the Dakotas, they're not getting those festivals. Like, it is definitely weird that Virginia is getting it. But when you're talking if you build it, they will come when it comes to festivals. If you build a stage and you hire the people and you have the sound equipment, you can have a festival anywhere and book people to go to. Danville, Virginia is a weird place to have it. But Virginia has people that are going to come out to it. Like, all of Twitter is talking about that festival like it's in the middle of LA.
Well,
so I guess it doesn't matter. Like, I've been to some obscure festivals.
It's a heavy fest, and that makes sense, right? Especially for our scene, that is going to be what a lot of the people are talking about. But again, if we can speak to Warped Tour, that's kind of what the downfall to Warped Tour was. You try to hit every state. You try to hit a major city in every state, and it's are you being Montana, Wyoming, these states that border Seattle and really expect a good turnout when you're hitting Washington 2 or 3 times, right? California and Arizona is a little bit different because you do hit a couple different cities in each state because of how populous they are and how widespread they are. Texas too. But when you hit these smaller states on the East Coast, you're doing one show in Rhode Island and then the next show, in Pennsylvania or somewhere nearby. And it's like, okay, well, are we really affording all of this to be able to go out and hit every single state, every single city, and every major city in every state? So yeah, the obscure ones like Montana and up north, Canada, I don't feel gets enough love for festivals. They have very few festivals. Warped Tour hit there a couple times. And they obviously have. Yeah, but I mean, again, you're once you get to the north part of the United States and southern part of Canada, it gets tricky.
It becomes too difficult for bands to do how many dates is Warped? Like 60 some days. It's too difficult to do 60 days and incorporate even 2 Canadian dates because you go through this whole long run that you're committed to, and then that one band member that's got a DUI or a non-violent offense is getting denied entry, and then boom, that whole band is fucked on the bill. So the Canadian kids are getting denied like 6 bands, and they get an excuse of like, oh, our bus broke down. Well, how did 6 bands' buses break down?
Yeah. Or you're just fucking in a shitty band gets a bunch of DUIs and
I know violence. A lot of Australian bands who have to like get their like their visas, like they got to pay, you got to pay for a visa in order to make money in America, whatever. And so there'll be like a tour or something, and then it'll go into Canada, and they'll just take like a 3-day holiday because they're like, screw like paying extra to go to like Canada kind of thing.
Brian, I had a few things on the news docket, but I'm gonna give you guys the option here. Do we even want to talk about Demi Lovato's pronouns or the fact that Travis Scott and Kylie Jenner got back together? Are those things worth talking about? I think Brian's frozen to death.
Brian's gone. He's dead.
Brian died. All right, so Brian's not going to be able to vote on that poll. So I think we're going to skip these things. I know Brian was really upset at Demi Lovato, which is funny because he's upset at her for a completely different reason from when I was upset at her a couple weeks ago because she went off on a Froyo store. You know, she was just very rude.
I saw that, but did they copy something of hers, or what happened? Not to bring up old drama.
She went in. Yeah? Oh, it's very traumatizing to me for sure. It's bringing up bad emotions, but basically, she has an eating or had an eating disorder. She walked into a Froyo shop. They offered healthy options, and she was offended by it. And she said that it was like propaganda of some sort, and she went off on them. She ended up threatening them through direct message, and it was just bad. No, don't talk about Demi Lovato. She's dumb. I'm bored. Well, you know, that's our job to piss off everyone who watches our show. But yeah, so basically that's what Demi Lovato did. She said, you don't want to mess with me. Attention. And I just thought she was really rude.
That's fair.
Oh, yeah, we haven't even got to the pronoun part. Brian thinks she's doing this pronoun shit for attention.
Oh, okay, listen, and this is what I said. Can we let's all shut the fuck up about it. Let's do our thing. But in 2 or 3 years, I guarantee you having a kid, talking about shit women would do, still has a vagina. Like, she's not gonna do. I think this whole pronoun thing is as a stab for attention. Specifically,
you don't change your pronouns and lose your vagina, Brian.
But I mean,
that's not how it works. Like, if I change my pronouns, I don't gain a vagina.
If you're binary,
if you say you're binary,
you should at least a little bit further than just being your binary. And let's be real, what are you talking about? There's no lag on my end.
On your end, his face completely froze up really bad.
Yeah, he's done.
If she's binary, I'm trimary. I don't know what that means.
I don't know. I mean, I can't say we get the latest news with Demi Lovato in Australia, so that's a bit of a different story. But I don't know. Yeah, she seems like she's been on a roller coaster recently. So
did this guy just drop a YouTube link in our comments?
That's Ricky. That's Rick Rod. Don't worry about him. It's probably a link to Demi Lovato freaking out.
Oh, it would be funny if it was like a link to some rowdy ass like Sarah J porn. I think it's about time. Oh my god, you're loud. Yeah, Sarah J, man, you know the nasty shit. The shit that you can only go back and like download and watch in 420p because it's just so nasty that they didn't bother remastering it or like keeping up. Anyways, should we get into the interview portion of this podcast, or do we have other awful topics to bore people with?
No.
Give me a sec. I gotta go get my laptop charger.
Oh no, it's cool. Yeah, no, we're you know what? It's cool. We're just gonna shut it down. You know, it's been great, folks. This is the last episode. We can't book Tekashi 69 for episode 69, so there's no point in even continuing.
Oh man.
Okay. That's all, folks.
Can you see how we're good without him being connected? I feel like I feel like you and me are good. I feel like we're fine.
I don't know, man. It's your voice. Like if you were here,
is it because I'm further?
Sitting in my lap, like if you were sitting here in my lap and I was inside you, you'd be able to see and can hear the lag. But you don't.
Is it laggy now?
You're not here. No, you're fine, and let's pray to God that it continues that way. But we are honored to have Mr. Josh Walker of the band Stuck Out, away from Melbourne, Australia.
Melbourne,
not Sydney, as
Brian's was
previously recorded.
Thank you.
Damn it. I'm working on my Brisbane. Anyways,
Brisbane.
don't get me started on Adelaide or the Gold Coast. I'm not very good at that shit. You can stream their EP live through your teeth on all platforms right now, so you should go do that. I definitely tweeted out a link to it on YouTube, so you can go and check it out. You guys were going to be on our podcast like a week or two ago, but you had shows to do, which is cool as shit. What is it like going back and playing shows after this long, awful pandemic?
It is insane. We completely forgot what it was like, but we're no, it was so good. So we played, like I said before, Brisbane and Sydney last weekend, and we're literally, the boys are probably driving to. I was going to try and get them on, but they've got load in like half an hour, so they were like, "Sorry, vocalist, I don't need to rock up till 10 minutes before our set anyway, so it's fine. They can deal with all that shit." But yeah, we got Melbourne tonight. It's kind of whack what we're doing at the moment because Australia's really like, he's coming back. It'll be fine. Australia's really sketchy about like COVID restrictions because we have like no cases in Australia. As soon as we get like a case, everything basically shuts down. So like everything was kind of go ahead. It's like regular shows. But then last week, Sydney got like literally I think it was 1 or 2 cases. So it was like a husband and wife had it. And they were like, okay, all gigs now have to be seated shows. And so we were going to go and literally play like to like a mosh pit and a crowd and everything. And Brisbane was great. Brisbane was like all up. We had push pits, we had, circle pits, all that kind of stuff. And then we got to Sydney and it was like 2 shows of them just like kind of sitting down and like nodding their heads. And we were like, damn, so we were so close to like getting a stand-up show. But it is what it is. Tonight's a stand-up show, regular, dancing, all that stuff. So we're all good.
Do you guys have the issue that America seems to be plagued with of people not wanting to wear masks? It seems like we keep getting events to open up in areas where, for lack of a better term, there's more conservatives and people don't tend to wear masks in those areas. And so it's been a strange conversion coming out the pandemic for us.
Yeah, I feel like everyone kind of got on board with the masks eventually. We were a bit behind you guys with everything because, like, you guys, your government was like mask up and our government was like masks don't do anything. And then all of a sudden in June, they were like,
the science agrees.
There's still people saying that.
Well,
shut the fuck up, Brian.
Yeah, in June, the government was like, actually, masks do something, and we've kind of fucked up here. So from June onwards, everyone's been wearing masks, and it's been fine. Like no one really is that fussed about it. I mean, even if people like, I know people who are like, oh, masks are stupid, masks are a waste of time, but they'll wear it anyway, just because what's the problem with it? Like, oh, boo-hoo, my mouth feels a bit hotter.
I'd like to know the science behind having people. I'd like to know the science behind people sitting down. What is that about? Why only sit down shows?
I think
because you can't spread COVID if you're sitting down.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's the whole idea of like running around and getting sweaty and shit. Who is that? Is that Clay?
That's me taking a no. Oh, yeah, okay. Is it Clay?
That would be funny.
No, that was me. That's me taking a shit. For whatever reason, Matt loved taking pictures of me taking shits back in the day. I don't know why. I don't know what that had to do with.
It was a fetish of mine. What can I say?
Yeah.
Twice. 2 different occasions.
Anyway.
I have a whole hard drive full of them. How many beers did you have during the making of the Inverse music video?
A lot.
That's a great question.
A lot. So I literally bought a slab for the whole day.
What's a slab? So we don't have that term. What's a slab?
Slow, loud, and banging?
No. A slab is a case, a carton.
Okay.
24.
Cigarettes?
24. Okay, cool.
Whatever that is over there.
So cases here generally come in 12. The only ones that really come in 24 are like Bud Light, the main gross ones like Coors Light, Bud Light, Miller Light, things like that. So a case normally here is 12. So a slab is 24 in Australia.
Yeah.
Cool. Good to know.
Yeah. It's also weird that your popular ones beers, when they say light, is it like light in sugar or is it light beer?
Oh man, is it the sugar?
When we say light, what?
It's supposed to be a lighter
it's-
beer, less carbs and
Less calories and less carbs.
So you can chug more. So yeah, I guess less sugar
Australia-
could be a thing.
In Australia, if you have a light beer, it's like 0.5% alcohol. It's like 0.3 of a standard drink.
Oh, that's
which is
not. Yeah, no.
So when there's like Bud Light and all these different beers, we're like, what? Why are they drinking light beer? That doesn't make sense. But it makes more sense that it's like low calorie kind of shit.
Is there
We're
what
on board with
American
that.
beer?
It's
Obviously,
you can drink more.
Foster's isn't real and doesn't exist because you've debunked that myth. So what American beer
Tastes like shit.
do you enjoy?
What American beer? You know what? You're gonna have to Corona's Mexican, isn't it? We got a lot of Corona over here.
You know.
No, it's American. It's American claimed to be Mexican. We claimed it.
Vin Diesel drinks it in the Fast and Furious movie, so we'll take it.
Weird.
Yeah.
Corona is what's popular over there.
Corona's probably the biggest American beer. We got lots of like Europe, like we got Heineken and we've got Stella and Peroni and all these like European beers.
Oh, I've had
But we
Stella
don't have-
Artois before.
Yeah, great.
Stella's
like-
our jam.
Stella
There you
Artois.
Yeah, however you meant to say
Stella
it. But I mean, Australians love drinking Australian beer, just like Americans love drinking American beer. There's no reason. It's just like,
I only
yeah.
drink Fosters. I was on the Kool-Aid. I only drink Fosters. I don't know.
But you know what? Foster's is probably an American beer anyway, so you're still drinking American beer.
I think it's brewed in like Germany or somewhere. It's brewed
Jamie,
in some
look it
weird
up.
ass obscure place.
I'd look it up, but I can't see my phone right now.
Do you guys have
getting
like
harder.
Asahi and like Sapporo and like the Japanese beers?
Japanese
Yeah.
beers.
Oh yeah, those are
We're all
great.
about
Those are
Japanese.
good.
Yeah.
Now
we
the
rate
best
them.
is when you're
Do you do
eating.
sake bombs?
If you're
Yeah,
eating
yeah.
sushi, double fist the Asahi or the Sapporo with some sake, like some warm sake. That's how you get
Sake
really
bomb.
fucked
Yeah,
up.
that's what we just did.
I've had many sushi waitresses have to call my mom to pick me up because I'm too wasted. It's a good time. It's a good
Little did
time.
Matt know he was at massage parlors when he was doing this.
Ma'am, your son has wet his pants in our store. Can you please come pick him up?
Exactly.
I thought
Exactly.
I
It's
thought
never-
this was America.
It's never a good story. I love how you're drinking whatever you're drinking out of a teacup or like a fucking
I
really
know.
fancy cup.
I know.
We have cans. We have cans here in America, but
I'm mixing, so I could just drink it out of a glass. But I don't know what you're allowed on YouTube and what you're not. So I thought I'll play it safe and just look like.
we
it's,
get banned
you know.
constantly. It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh
Doesn't
yeah,
matter.
no. Basically, if we don't say the N word, we're good to go. You know, just pretty much stay clear of that shit. I'm sure Brian was curious about this. I'll throw back a couple Modelo's or a Blue Moon. I enjoy both of those.
I'm going to California.
Modelo isn't,
I'm going to
but I'll claim
California next week. I'm going to California next week, so I'm just assuming that all the I Hate the Scene fans are gonna like converge to the hood or like
Oh yeah,
somewhere.
you're gonna be so famous when you get to the 760. Oh, here we go.
I'm
Little
pretty
history
excited.
lesson. Foster's was created by two American brothers, William M. and Ralph R. Foster, who arrived in Melbourne from New York in 1886. Wow.
There you go.
You guys
History
can have
lesson on the
that.
I Hate the Scene podcast.
That's brilliant.
We can have it.
Wow.
We can-
And the more you
What is
know,
this? What is this? The racial draft? Are we just taking stuff that's not supposed to be?
Exactly. You guys can have Foster's. We'll palm it off. We don't care anymore.
so I'm sure you've already gone over all these questions since your album, your EP's been out for a minute now, but we could still go over some of this stuff. Who is lying through their teeth, or why are you lying through your teeth? Why would you do that? That's so mean. All right, why wouldn't you just be honest? Everyone wants an honest musician, and here from the get-go, Stuckout's lying through their teeth.
Exactly. No. We're calling out all the haters that do lie through their teeth. Fuck them, yeah? Well,
oh man, if you would have called this the Fuck 'em Yeah EP, I think I would have got that message a little more clear.
Exactly. No. So basically, each song's just a scenario where it just involves someone lying to someone else, or lying to yourself, or being lied to, all that kind of stuff. And it's just it's literally just 4 different scenarios where, you know, what happens when you lie, the consequences of it, and all that kind of stuff. So we just kind of I got to be honest, I kind of got lazy with the writing, and "Lie Through Your Teeth" is actually a lyric in 2 of the songs. So we were like, hey, it's a concept EP. Let's use that.
I'm just gonna keep reusing it until you put it on a t-shirt. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Exactly.
I got lazy with the writing. That's a good way to put it, I suppose. We never get that kind of honesty from anyone.
Who's gonna call me out? No one else writes lyrics in this band, so I can claim it.
Ooh, good point. So you got four songs that total 12 minutes. Why is it so short? And are you just trying to leave us like on the edge of our seat for new material? Is this all an advertising ploy? What's going on here?
Can I say something?
Oh God, you can't interrupt the guest, bro.
Four songs at 12 minutes is an average 3-minute song, bro.
I don't know.
What are you talking about? Like, I don't answer on a fucking question. It's a normal song, right?
No, that's a valid point. Because
I could have sex like 3 times to this EP.
We just saying. We're very much we write songs in the mindset of it's better to leave people wanting more than them getting to like an extra minute of the song being like, all right, I'm going to skip the rest of it. We hate it when like songs or sets like overstay their welcome. Like when we ever get like a set time, we make sure that we play for like 5 to 10 minutes or less than the actual set time is, because we're like no, I don't want to go see like a local, unless it's a headline show, then that's a bit different. But it's like, I don't want to go see a local support and then play for like 40 minutes doing a whole lot of back catalog shit that I've never heard before in my life. We played a show once with a band that they had like a 20-minute, they went 20 minutes over whatever their set time was. And we were on next. And we were like, can you please get off the stage so we can put our shit on the stage?
Could you spare a crumb of time, sir?
Exactly. So we have a tasteful loathing for.
Isn't that British? That's British.
You know what? Union Jacks are all the same to me.
I like hold on. You openly admit. I like how you openly admit that you're showing up half-assing it already. Like you want 10 minutes less than what you're allowed.
Yeah, because who wants to? Yeah, don't overstay your welcome.
Yeah.
I want to get to the end of the set and people come up and be like, oh, I really wish you had to play this song. Then I'll just go to them and be like, okay, we'll put it on the set list for next time and you'll have to come to the next show and see it. Like,
and that's how you build the perfect set list for when you tour America. Be like, oh, I wish you would have really played this song. Yeah, you goddamn right you did. Yeah, write that one down. 35 for this one. Looks like we're playing that next tour.
Exactly. We just check our Spotify stats. Who's
what happens when you guys headline?
Wow, I wonder if
every single song.
That.
Probably.
Our set list is our top Spotify songs. What's up, Topeka?
The top 5. The top 5. You fucking hit them. You bang them out.
We don't even play our top 5. We play the songs that we're like, these are the funnest songs to play. There is genuinely a song that is our second lowest streamed song that we play at every single show for no reason other than it is the funnest song on our set to play.
So you're basically saying that you play it for you and not the fans, because fuck them, that's why.
I tell you what, they could have 7 songs on the set list. I get the 8th. Deal with it.
I get this one, damn it. It would have been a lot funnier if you said, like, when we get, like, the set time, we just go ahead and blow past that because fuck them and we're assholes. That would have been a lot funnier than leaving them with like wanting more. No, we just go in and like, oh, who's next? You thought.
Or you come on stage and you go, this is our last song. You play one song and that's it.
No, every time you play a song, this is our last song, and then play a song.
It just
6 times.
20 songs.
I write that.
One more song, and then you just go into another one. They don't even get time. Oh man.
And or you do like a 4-song set, and then for your encore, you do 10 songs. And the full set is after the encore.
You know what? I saw Fooey's at like an arena show, and everyone was like, one more song. And they were genuinely chanting it for like 5 minutes until they came back on stage. And then they came back on stage and they played 3 more songs. And you know what? It got to the end of the first song, and I was like, yeah, you haven't listened to us. We said 1 more song, not 3 more songs. Dave Grohl, pull your head out your ass.
You said the Fooey's?
Yeah.
Foo Fighters.
Did you mean the Foo Fighters? I've never heard them called the Fooey's. Oh,
really?
man.
I've never heard
of
man,
Dave Grohl from now on. Grohl and the
Dave
Fooey's.
Dave Grohl and the Fooey's. You guys need to work on your slang a bit more.
What? It's Australian slang for the Foo Fighters? Is the
you know what? I totally get it because I call the Amity affliction the Ammies.
No, that's just Amity. Brian's dead again.
Yeah, Brian's frozen like a fucking popsicle. Too bad he doesn't get stuck like one. Okay, go ahead.
Do you do shoeies?
This is shoey. What the hell is that?
A shoey's where you drink a beer out of a shoe.
We do shoeies, yes. I can't say that I've done one recently. Yes. We do gummy. So at festivals, because it gets like muddy and shit. Like you walk around wearing gumboots. You do gummies, or you do shoeies at shows. You drink out of your gumboots. That's a gummy. Do you know what a gumboot is?
That is gross. A shoe full of.
Brian knows all about a cum.
A cummy. He said a cummy. I'm pretty sure. Okay. Anyways, the only reason I know of a shoey is, and you said you were a sports fan. Tai Tawavisi is a fucking Australian mixed martial artist in the UFC.
Nobody cares, Brian.
And every time he knocks a motherfucker out, he takes a shoey from a fan. He'll fucking have a fan fill up their shoe with a beer, and he chugs it. Yeah. And I think that's just the most gangster thing of all time.
Is he Australian? Yeah, that explains it. No, yeah, shoeies.
Yeah, tied to a
culture. But you've also got to be careful with
what are you looking at, bro? Are you getting
shoeies? I'm just making sure no one. I got a full window of literally. It's like a pathway next to my house, so it's like people just walk past. Okay. Anyone can just be watching the podcast from outside.
I thought someone was like breaking in.
I just imagine he has a window that looks. I imagine he has a window that looks directly into the Australian outback. It's just like a steakhouse, and then just nothing but foliage and like animals and shit.
I'm watching a kangaroo fight an emu right now.
Oh no!
That is the most Aussie thing I've ever heard. Oh, have you heard the stigma in America with like all the pop punk bands getting in trouble, banging all these underage chicks and shit? It's been like since the pandemic, it's been like an ongoing struggle of bands getting canceled. We're running out of pop punk bands at this point.
No, it's good. Call them all out. Screw them all. You're an idiot. Fuck you.
Okay, good. Hey, can we quote that? Yeah, go ahead. Print that. Yeah, quote that. Print that. Quote it. Quote it. Print it. Flip it. Print it. Quote it. Good. I think it's crazy. Yeah, we're pretty much like running out of bands because all these bands keep banging underage chicks, and it kind of sucks. Like if there was a Warped Tour, you would have lost like half the roster last year because everyone just had the time to be home on the computer figuring out that like, oh my god, all my friends slept with the entire 2017 Warped Tour.
Exactly. I mean,
it's crazy.
There's still good decent bands out there, but for the most part,
a few, not many.
If you're being a C word, screw you.
A cunt.
A royal fucking C word.
That's it.
Yeah, just a big time CS and C word. Yeah, F and C words. I think that's more of an American thing, that stigma with pop punk bands and going after young girls. I can't think of an Aussie band that got in trouble. I mean, Parkway's still going strong. Tonight Alive, they're sweethearts. They've never done anything wrong. Yeah, I think it's just America being pieces of shit. We us and like something about Hollywood. We just love pedophilia. That is an American thing that we are taking into 2022.
That's fact.
Australia definitely has problems and issues, but I mean, we don't have anything nearly as big as
Koala street violence is out of control in Brisbane.
Yeah, something like that. We had an emu war or something, but
I was gonna ask because we were gonna talk about Travis Scott and Kylie Jenner for like a hot second, and I was gonna ask if you guys had open relationships in Australia, if that's something that you guys are like super into or not, and if so, what Kardashian would you want to have an open relationship with?
I think, I don't know. I mean, I'm surrounded by pretty regular people, so I can't say I've seen too many open relationships.
Regular folk, you know.
But I think it's just more of like a younger person thing. Is that, I mean, not that I'm not a young person, I hope, but
you're not.
It seems to be becoming more.
Bro,
popular.
you look like 17.
Okay. You know who I appreciate is Travis Barker. Travis Barker with Courtney. Props, son.
No,
Props.
Stop.
I'm proud of him.
Very nice.
Barker. I think it's great that you refer to him as Travis Barker.
Barker.
I would have had to have choose Caitlyn if I'm gonna go with any of them. It was definitely Caitlyn.
I didn't want to say. Why is it Caitlyn Jenner?
She's a bad driver. I couldn't deal with it.
Hey, Brian. Oh wow, Brian Bitter Rose says she would love an open relationship. That means me and you both, homie.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to California next week. I mean, we all know this, so I'll be at the hood.
Is Bitter Rose just Matt's second account?
Both of us. Oh, a second account. Oh no.
Wow, I just got called out hard.
We're gonna be the first podcast for get canceled for we're both hosts bang the same chick, and it's definitely going to be not Bitter Rose, but you know that's what we're going to get canceled for sure.
Wow. Yeah, okay, let's just go ahead and okay. Anyways, how was Australia during the pandemic? I'm going to take a guess and say it wasn't lovely.
Eiffel
Tower. I figured we could Eiffel Tower.
Oh God, Brian is just the fucking worst. I swear.
No, Australia was pretty whack because we're an island effectively. You know, we can't get it from anywhere unless people fly in. So
technically, every continent is an island if you zoom out far enough.
Hey, hang on. What if I reckon? No, you could walk across the Arctic, I reckon, and get to Europe. You'd be right.
Yeah, no big deal.
That's an easy couple of 100 Ks.
Just a short trek, you know. Just have a couple fastest.
Yeah. No, but we were basically.
I think you can see Russia from like Alaska.
Yeah, you could swim there. Just get a nice wetsuit or something. It'd be fine. That
sounds awful.
No, Australia was very strict with quarantine and all that kind of stuff. Because we're basically at like 0 cases around the whole of Australia. So we were kind of like Melbourne got it pretty bad last year. And when I say pretty bad, I mean we were in like full like red lockdown, and we got to the point where we had 700 cases a day. Damn. Which to you guys was like, it would be like,
that would have been a great day.
Exactly. But to us, it was like the worst thing in the world. So we were in like we were allowed outside for 1 hour a day.
What's it like to have a government that values human life? Is that a cool thing? You know, we don't know what that's like.
You know what? No. The federal government doesn't our country's government doesn't give a shit about human life. It was all the state governments that were actually like hammered down on shit. So we were like, everyone hates. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to get into politics, but fuck Australia's government.
Good idea. Yeah, fuck all government.
Yeah,
and the police and Chick-fil-A.
We're saying the same shit, bro. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
anyway,
fuck the government.
Long story
fuck
short,
Walmart.
It was pretty shit last year, but we're back. We're in a really good place right now, except for the Australian government fucked up our vaccines as well. So screw them twice.
Wow, yeah, fuck them.
Oh no.
Shit is not cool.
Anyway,
they're making you take it in the pee hole? I heard they were making you take it in the pee hole.
Oh wow.
No, you put it in through a rectal thermometer or something like that. I don't know.
That's great. I love shoving shit.
I mean, hey, did I say 2? Better make it 3. You know.
Exactly. No, yeah. So we're so behind. You guys have like millions of vaccines, and we have had like 0. So we're kind of screwed in that department. Anyway.
So besides the fact that we all assume that koalas and kangaroos roam your streets and are essentially your street gangs, what do you think are some of the biggest misconceptions about Australia?
Oh, biggest misconceptions.
I mean, because you're looking at two red-blooded American jackasses. Like, I think we've been to Mexico. I've been to Canada. I've been to a couple other states. We don't know shit, bro. I mean,
I've been to the
you say Australia, and yeah, I think kangaroo and Parkway Drive.
I think the idea that we're like all in like these like rural towns, like we do actually have cities. No, the cities aren't as big as like New York or LA. Huge. Yeah, it's like big.
Huge, yeah,
but it's not. Whatever. I mean, it wouldn't equal the big cities in America or anything like that.
What do you have? 30 million people as a population? 40 million?
That's a big number.
27.
Okay, 30. Like yeah, okay. So I mean, that's the population of like New York and California combined, I'm sure, you know, like it's very weird. You know, we're now learning that you can't have that many people. And I think that's something that you guys might have on the right spot, right? I mean, and we have them like congregated to cities, which is weird. Like obviously you have Sydney, Melbourne, you know, you have your cities as well.
Melbourne.
Melbourne. We're confined to like a bunch of different cities, and like Los Angeles has like 15 million in the city alone, right? Outskirt wise, all of California, you have like I think it's like close to 30 million. Yeah, like it's fucking bananas. You know, and you have a whole country dedicated to that. So I can see where shit gets lost.
The US is, I mean, effectively the same size as Australia, but we have the same population as one of your states, so it's like an extremely different kind of environment. Also, we've got I mean, you also have a whole heap of like inhospitable land, but you've gotten to the point where people need to live there, so you've got people kind of living there in like the deserts and all that kind of stuff.
That makes sense.
The
Dakotas. Nobody wants to live in the fucking Dakotas.
Yeah, this episode is definitely not brought to you by the Dakotas.
But even talk about Montana. Like, fuck Montana.
Like, I don't know. Is Vegas is in the middle of the desert, isn't it?
Oh, essentially, yeah, I guess.
Like we would never have a city in the middle of
Vegas is great. I don't know. I mean,
but
Vegas
like
okay, and Brian's dead. Well, that was great.
He got kicked for saying Vegas is great.
What's funny too is like it's definitely him that lags, but every time we tell him, no, you look fine on my screen. No, it's definitely him.
Ignorance.
Should I even bring him back in, or should it just be me and you? I'll bring him back.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see what he says.
Because if it's just me and you, it's gonna get nasty real quick. So I've never been to Australia, but I was told by shout out to what the shit was his band called? Capture the Crown, Jeffrey Welfare. He told me that KFC is like royalty over there, that y'all's KFC has a different menu and it's way better chicken. So I was going to ask, besides what what is up with KFC. What is your favorite fast food joints out there?
On my life, KFC is my number one go-to food of all time. If I had a last supper, like if I had my last meal before I got the death sentence, it would be a KFC Zinger Stacker box. Unbelievable.
You are going to be so disappointed, my friend, when you come here.
No American has ever said that. I'm going to let you know right now. No American has ever said that.
I don't even think we still have the
meal.
Zinger sandwich.
What is that?
Zinger burger is
what is that? Oh, the Zingers.
It's like a crispy chicken patty.
It's got a supercharged sauce on it. Like it's like spicy, but it's got a Zinger Stacker has like barbecue sauce and then like this like satay spicy sauce, and then it's got like two chicken, like fried chicken and then cheese.
I just want to apologize for when you go to the KFC in America and you think we're gonna have any of that shit. I'm sorry, bro. But you know what? We have other options for you. You're not totally screwed. You ever heard of Chick-fil-A?
I have heard of Chick-fil-A.
They're delicious. They love Christ and they're a little homophobic, but their chicken's delicious.
As long as
they're a lot homophobic. Not a little.
They're big time homophobic. But you know what? It's cool because every time I eat their chicken, I just go out and counteract it by.
He's gone.
Okay, so while we're on that tirade, when you do come to America, you have to for sure get In-N-Out 100%, and then Del Taco, right?
Del Taco for sure.
What you guys have McDonald's?
We have Macca's.
But it can't be good.
We got Taco Bell for the first time. We got
my Australian friend Bella calls McDonald's Macca's.
It's called Macca's over here. Like the sign.
Taco Bell too. Del Taco's the way to go. Yeah, Macca's. Okay. Yeah.
I've never heard of Del Taco before, but we've got Taco Bell for the first time. Do you guys have Guzman and Gomez?
Yeah, it's like Southern.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
Yeah, okay. So we've got that. What else? We got Subway.
We don't.
Horrible.
Do you guys have Red Rooster? Is that a thing?
I wonder if that's like Red Robin.
No, definitely not.
Do you know what Outback Steakhouse is?
Yes, we do. They're in Australia, but nobody goes to them because they suck.
Okay. Are you aware that their whole marketing scheme and theme is Australian, but there's really not a goddamn thing Australian about them? It's all an image. It's just a gimmick.
Screw them.
According to that steakhouse, your native land serves onion petals and mediocre $15 steak.
And let me guess,
it's probably even worse the fact that like every season of Survivor has been sponsored by Outback.
You know, I'm not shitting on Outback. It's not. Yeah. I'd eat it if it was fucking free.
No, okay. I just had a bloomin' onion like 2 weeks ago, and I almost had a heart attack. It was the worst. It was the worst.
Texas Roadhouse is better.
If you guys, your Burger King is called Hungry Jack's in Australia. Don't ask me why.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know why.
No one goes there here.
Yeah, neither.
Yeah.
Like the only reason you would go to Burger King is if you're doing like a drug deal in the parking lot. No one eats there.
Fair. What do you reckon? What's the top 3?
I got my dick sucked in a Burger King parking lot one time.
You've got
I told you to never tell anyone about.
It's got cancelled again. What's your top 3 American? No. What's the top 3 American fast food chain?
Like most popular?
Yeah.
McDonald's. What's second?
For us, Del Taco, In-N-Out.
No. Most popular is not most favorite.
For me, anyways. Del Taco, In-N-Out, Carl's Jr.
Del Taco's too regional. If you're thinking like nationwide, it's definitely like McDonald's, Wendy's, and
Burger King.
I don't know but Burger King is always empty. It's got to be something else. Man, it ain't In-N-Out because it's too regional.
Name
it's
brand,
not Whataburger
Wendy's
'cause
for
it's too
sure. I mean, feel
regional.
like for me, yeah.
Hey, Chick-fil-A
me,
is pretty fucking crowded everywhere you
gotta
go.
go
So that's definitely top 5.
You
they're
know,
not everywhere.
well,
They're not everywhere. They're not everywhere though. Chick-fil-A's not everywhere.
I found out the other
Yeah,
day
I
that
guess.
Subway has the most franchises out of any fast
In the
food
world.
joint in the entire world.
Yep. Yeah.
They're not
And I
considered
won't eat
fast
there.
food.
I realized that when
considered
I went
fast
on
food.
tour because there'll be a Subway in the middle of fucking nowhere where there's nothing for like 100 miles except the one truck stop that you're at, and they happen to have a Subway. And I'm not going to eat their Play-Doh ass lunch meat in their fucking sandwiches.
It's yoga mats. Yeah, it's yoga mats. And what's also crazy is that what you'll see out here is like pizza in certain states. It's not everywhere. But certain states, like a Pizza Hut, Taco Bell in one building, or you'll get a Carl's Jr. and a Green Burrito in one building, and it's weird because you're like, okay, what restaurant am I at? You have both menus up.
I like those.
No, because the fucking Arizona Taco Bell Pizza Huts, they're weird, man. They're fucking weird. I don't know if I don't like Taco Bell a whole lot. And
My
like
friend Chad took his pickles off his Whopper and threw them at the window in Burger King, and they stuck there. I'm glad we were able to tell that story on the podcast. I just lost 3 viewers.
Yeah, can we cancel her?
I don't know. That's what you'll realize when you tour the US though is like we have nationwide chains like a McDonald's and a Wendy's and a Burger King and a KFC and all that shit. But what's really fun is we have regional places. Like we live in Texas. Our famous place is called Whataburger. Everyone out here loves that shit. But we are originally from California where they had a burger joint called In-N-Out, and then there's like a better version of Taco Bell called Del Taco. And we worship the ground that those are built on. I mean, when I go to they're starting to build them in Jacksonville, Florida, and out in Georgia, and it's like you go to a foreign town, you see a Del Taco, it's like a U.S. embassy. Oh, I'm home again. Oh, can I get a tostada? 59 cents. Here you go.
Is In-N-Out like only in LA? It's not like all around America.
It's all around California. There's some in Nevada. There are some in Arizona. There are some in New Mexico. There are some in Texas. After that, it gets really scarce.
Wow.
They're mostly in California. I mean, because that's where they start. And like, what's funny is if they branch out too far, they eventually hit a region they don't work in. Like out here, we have a Mexican joint chain called Taco Cabana, and they expanded out to California and they didn't work. And so they shut down. They expanded out towards Florida and they didn't work in Florida. Florida has a chain called Pollo Tropical. They expanded out here and they didn't work, but they're super popular in Florida. It's super weird, dude. Like you'll go to Ohio, they have a burger place called Culver's, and that's why everyone out there is fat and gets heart disease. Inappropriate? Hey, what do you call an attractive chick in Minnesota?
Everybody in America's fat
a tourist. You love to see it. What other bullshit questions do I have on here? Crazy story. Do you have an OnlyFans? Favorite sex position? Oh, top 5 Aussie music acts. Hopefully, I gave you enough of a warning to put something like this together. Yeah. And feel free to throw in an honorable mention, and you can also include honorable mentions for like maybe some favorite Aussie actors or maybe Aussie foods, because I have no idea what the fucking Aussie food is.
All right. Well, I'll start with yours truly because we're on tour with them at the moment. I highly recommend you listen to their album. They're sick. They're just good flavored pop punk, straight down the line, simple, hooks galore kind of thing. That's truly number 1. Number 2, Thornhill. Do you guys know Thornhill?
I know the name.
Oh,
I would recommend Thornhill.
I actually didn't get into Thornhill until their recent album, and it surprised me, to be honest.
They're the guy. They're going to be the next like Parkway Amity. So get on them now, so you can tell all your friends that you were on them from the first album, rather than joining June.
But they had
chasing ghosts or whatever it was.
They had a couple album where they were kind of like new metal-y, where you kind of saw In Heart's Wake take that route, and North Lane obviously took that route as well. But I feel like their newer album, their most recent one, was like a little bit more like metalcore, but without having the new metal aspect to it. And yet he did a lot of clean singing, and it was
100%.
deep, man. And I did not like Thornhill. I didn't like the rapping that they did in the very beginning. I didn't like the fast lyrical style that they had. But this new album was really, really good. And I told Matt this. I was like, yo, this Thornhill album, it's
a lie.
And I'm not a Thornhill fan to begin with. I did. But you say Parkway, and like, are you not? Parkway's last couple albums, like, I don't. Sorry, bro. If it's not Horizons or
everything after Deep Blue sucked.
Parkway and Amity, like, they're the bands in Australia where it doesn't matter what album they put out, everyone will just see them because they know that they'll play the old songs. So it's like they're like the two Australian like headline acts that they'll just play the festival headline. Everyone will go to watch them play the old stuff, and then they'll put one or two songs from their new album in there, and everyone will be like, this is our kind of rest break in the mosh pit right now, and then they'll play the old stuff again and everyone's back into it.
What's else on your list?
And
all right, Alpha Wolf. Surely you guys have heard of Alpha Wolf.
Are they Australian? I didn't even know that.
They are Australian, and they are so tight. Unbelievably
they're fucking heavier than shit. Yeah, they're cool as shit. They were on my year-end list for sure.
Phenomenal live. Very tight package live. Yeah, very tight live as well. Very good.
They're one of the bands that will, like, I don't think obviously because they're so heavy, I don't think they have like the commercial like reach that some other bands do, but they'll be the band that are like still around in like 20 years time, still touring and like being known in the scene as like the heavyweights for that kind of music. I reckon they'll and they're smart guys. They're like so good at marketing and selling, and like they can sell their music and they can sell their merch. And they made a pop-up store in Melbourne, and they got like hundreds of people through it.
They were one of the bands that took like the anime style characters of themselves and made that like their album art. They kind of have like a Linkin Park sound almost. Like they do sound like a very metalcore Linkin Park, which is kind of nice. Do you think that there's a like a crutch that the metalcore
like Linkin Park? That was a stupid comparison.
Come on. Do you think that it's a good comparison? Good comparison. Do you think that there's a crutch that the metalcore bands in Australia have, like North Lane?
They're definitely aggressive, but no.
That they go from heavy and aggressive to like they do take that new metal sound on. At least North Lane did. And for Alpha to that, just as a caveat, Alpha Wolf, I don't know if you're on Reddit, but they were one of the albums or the artists of the year last year for the metalcore Reddit. And that's a big deal. I mean, the metalcore Reddit has close to 250,000 people in it. And it's, all basic saying who their favorite bands are. For years, you got Architects, August Burns Red. I mean, right now it's Spirit Box. It's Fit for a King, Kingdom of Giants. But Alpha Wolf killed fucking the Reddit wild. You know what am I supposed to do? I was born with these looks. I don't know.
Look. She said you look awful. Now we're slut shaming.
I hate this fucking.
Go to bed. You're frozen.
Anyway.
Alpha Wolf was number 2?
Alpha Wolf's number 3. So Alpha Wolf, number 3. Yeah. Everyone get on them. You won't regret it. And also, they've just got a sick vibe going on. And if you tell your friends you listen to Alpha Wolf, you'll look like the cool guy in your friendship group. So
it's true. It'll get you laid.
Yeah, exactly.
Full consent of age chicks.
I got to think back now. Number 4, let's go Polaris.
Twitter either loves or hates Polaris.
It's very it's very left and right.
Same with Northlane. Northlane too. Love and hate.
No, I think Northlane went through a rough patch, and then they came up with Alien, which was lucky. But Polaris have just been on like a constant, like it's almost like an exponential trajectory. And I think Alpha Wolf and all these bands that I'm saying right now have been absolutely screwed by COVID because they had all of these international tours lined up. They had all of these like massive like shows, like almost stadium shows that they were going to play at, and they were going to pull massive numbers and just be, it was literally their next step to becoming full-time touring musicians. And then they just kind of got the rug taken out from under them, obviously, because of everything that's going on. And I mean, you're talking about all these like festivals and stuff. These are the kind of festivals that they'd be on if they lived in America, but we're like stuck over here until 2024, whenever we're allowed to leave the country again, kind of thing.
Alpha Wolf would totally be playing Danville, Virginia, and all that crap. Yeah, definitely.
Exactly. So yeah, it's a bit sucky for them, but Polaris are massive in Australia. They're selling out like 2,000 cap venues wherever they go over here. And they've got a regional tour coming up. So they're doing all like the kind of like Warped. They're doing all the smaller towns as well as the big ones. With a band called honorable mention, Deadlights.
They just released an album today. It's phenomenal.
They just released an album. Well, yesterday. Go listen to it.
Your yesterday, yes.
Yeah.
We're in a time warp here. Yes.
Exactly. Time is just a construct, man. So yeah, I would highly suggest going to listen to the new Deadlights record because it's got something in it for everyone. You like cleans, they got cleans. You like heavy, they got heavy. You like breakdowns, they got breakdowns. So it's all good. Yeah.
It's great. It's phenomenal.
And last,
I'm really hoping your number 1 is Natalie Imbruglia, but I don't know.
It was either Natalie Imbruglia or who's the other one? Rod Stewart. Do you guys know Rod Stewart? Probably.
Oh yeah, he drinks a shit ton of cum.
Oh my god. Is that a joke I don't get? All right, I gotta boot you. If you talk about drinking cum, you gotta get booted.
Boot him. All right, last one will be my boys in Bloom. Bloom's like a melodic hardcore band.
Yes, yeah. Also
big released Dream Down band. Whatever Brian said, yeah.
I thought you'd go Parkway. Wow.
No, bro. Those guys, Parkway, Amity, they don't need North Lane. They don't need the fucking exposure. Yeah, screw them. Also, Parkway and Amity have let me down with every album since I left high school, so they can.
Any favorite like broken up Aussie core band? There's been I'm trying to think. Dream On Dreamer.
Yeah. There's lots of like proper hardcore bands that have broken up in Australia that were like a big deal. Like Iron Mind broke up and then got back together. You got Vices.
Closure in Moscow.
Closure in Moscow. Yeah.
Loved them.
They're a big one. Yeah, there's a heap of.
I didn't hear Love for Inheart.
There seems to be a lot of Australian about broken bands. Up bands. Yeah. There's a lot of Australian bands that kind of get to a point. It seems like where they've got like a big following overseas, and it's either they make it or they say, "Sack it." We'll call it as it is, kind of thing, because it's too difficult to keep going when you're like, you got to invest so much money and time, especially when you got to travel to, Europe or US or whatever. It's like a completely different thing. So I think there's a lot of bands that have like the potential to, make a career out of it. And then they're just like, they just can't either they've got a better thing going on, or they just can't be bothered. And they just, say, we'll call it as it is. We're done. And so yeah, I think that's a kind of a good and bad thing in Australia. But anyway, yeah, there's plenty of good bands, plenty of potential down here. We'll see how the next couple of years goes.
The only remaining question that I could even possibly fathom or think of for you is, I Killed the Prom Queen. Are they just a Australian bleeding through? True or false?
True.
You could have asked such a better question.
Their guitarist even joined Bleeding Through. Like, you know, I just wanted a real Aussie to confirm that. I feel better now. I can sleep well. I think
they're such. It's really weird because when I was in high school, they were like the Australian, especially when I was like in younger high school, they were the Australian band.
Say goodbye.
And as I don't know who they went to support. I think they were like a support for a Polaris tour or something. And I looked at it and I was like, oh my goodness, my childhood has been broken in front of my eyes, kind of thing. Like, these guys were the ones that were going to be like the next Metallica. And now they're like, I don't know, like, good on them. They've made a career out of it and they're making money out of it and whatever. But yeah, I don't know. They're kind of like are Acacia Strain still going?
That's a good question. Jamie, are Acacia Strain? Jamie says nobody gives a shit. Only edgy kids in high school still care about that band. Yeah, no, they're still going. Yeah, no, they're hating on anyone that does drugs somewhere in fucking Boston.
It's very much it's like you can go through a list of who you listen to in high school and they're either broken up and you know that they've broken up because you want to see a show by them, massive, and you know because you have seen a show by them, or you have no idea. And if you have no idea, they're probably still going and still playing the same size shows that they were when you were in high school. So who knows?
Wow, that is a lot of shade for Acacia Strain. A lot of Acacia shade. A lot of Acacia shade for sure.
No hate.
The Acacia Shade.
Is that the name of the episode?
Oh, Acacia, man. What do you got coming up? Yeah, we're just Acacia Strain, Acacia Shade. Yeah, that's perfect. What does Stuck Out have coming up next? You guys are starting to play shows. You guys, what's next? What's on the horizon?
If you're watching the podcast in Melbourne, don't come to the show tonight because it's sold out. So sucked in. But
don't waste your time.
Stuck it.
Not worth it. We've got a headline tour that we haven't announced coming out in July for Australia. And if you live in any other country in the world, we'll hopefully have deal with it. Hopefully we'll have some music out by the end of the year, but we'll see how we go. No promises.
You'll just be in the same boat as us, impatiently waiting for their arrival to the States. Oh, man, when you come to the States, it's going to be fun. We're going to corrupt you and ruin you. We're going to make sure the second album has so many cuss words in it.
Hopefully.
And you're going to drink a shit ton of Fosters.
Yeah. Fosters. I'm only going to eat at Outback Steakhouses, all right?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Bloomin' Onions.
The whole tour is just sponsored by Outback.
You can call it the Bloomin' Onions Blown Out Butthole Tour because that's all you're getting. Bloomin' Onions and Blown Out
Buttholes. Wow. Brian, where can they find you? Bathroom of Outback.
With this McDonald's Wi-Fi, they can find me at of Brian of Death on Twitter and Instagram. And of course, my podcast is The Common Chaos. You can find me at The Common Chaos on Instagram, on Twitter, and commonchaos.net. Matt, what do we got next?
Next week we're going to do some fun stuff. We might do some introspective stuff. We might bring on a wrestler. We might bring on some washed up band from the 80s. Who knows? You know, tune in and find out. It's going to be fun. Maybe we'll just start purposely bringing on shitty guests so we just roast them. And it's just an hour and a half of us just cussing them out. You know, that'd be fun. That'd be a change of things. People got mad when I dick ride and told people that, like, I told a couple of our guests that their music was good. And people said, oh, you kiss their ass. Maybe we should just bring on some people that we hate. Just totally shit on them.
Does Leonard Skinner? Can we have Leonard Skinner
doing rants like this? And yeah, let's have Leonard Skinner on. Yeah, let's have the whole alt-right movement on. You can find me on Instagram at iHateTheScene, probably taking pictures of the sweet-ass race this weekend. Shout-outs to Dakota, Austin, Texas. You can find me on Twitter, going on all sorts
fucking Tucker
rants
Carlson.
at IH8, the scene, because some dumb son of a bitch Tucker
Fuck you,
Carlson,
Tucker
is that who stole your
Carlson.
Twitter handle?
Took our fucking Twitter name. How dare he take our Twitter name? He's getting canceled. We're getting canceled after
He
this fucking
took it.
shit.
Tucker, tuck it. He tucked it. He tucked it.
Tuck it.
You
Tuck
can
it,
catch
Carlson.
us every fucking Friday on twitch.tv/iHateTheScene, facebook.com/iHateTheScene. And the most important one, look, you need to follow this. My family's starving. I haven't fed them in months, especially my secret family that I neglect. If you want them fed, we need to get this channel up. I need to monetize it, okay? I got children depending on this shit. I'm looking at you, Bitter Rose. youtube.com/c/iHateTheScene, okay? Rate, review, subscribe, follow it. I might feed my fucking children this week. If you don't, I'm telling you, them fuckers
Is it
are
because
dead.
she's the mom of the children?
Oh my god, get the fuck out of here. This dude's just going rampant with the jokes. You can find all these links and more at iHateTheScene.com. Brian, apologize.
I'm sorry.
Thanks for the fun episode. New fan of Stuck Out. Jordan's stoked because we showed him a new band. Now all of a sudden Brian looks great. That's because he's about to go away.
Hey, thank you, Walker.
This was a fun episode.
We appreciate you.
Any last episodes before we sign out of here?
Yeah, man. Appreciate you. Any last episodes? This is probably it. This is probably the last one.
Yeah, this is it. There's nothing after this. We're fucked, man.
We're done.
This show's getting taken
It's
down
over.
off Spotify after this. It'll be fine.
Oh yeah, we're
never on
totally
Spotify.
screwed. I just use Twitch for the commenting. What are you talking about? I watch on YouTube every week. Oh, okay, thank God. Yeah, double those numbers. Well, maybe my family will get fed this week. I'm off to go get them some barbacoa. Bye, y'all. It's been real.
I knew I was fucked.